guys, and welcome. We're doing some beautiful little resin for the toddler or preteen or maybe even your teenage girl. So anyhow, we're using this picture frame from Dollar Tree, and we are using some little I don't know what you call these little. I'm gonna call them little jewels or something other. They're for resin. And then my actual resin and my hardener, I did not get those from Dollar Tree, but they have those. I did get mine from Amazon, and they had the cups with them. So make sure you've got some cups. You need a cup to pour each in, and then you need a cup to mix it in, and then you want some gloves. But I'm going to paint the frame. I'm going to paint it with my cottage white chalk paint. And then I'm also going to paint the glass with the chalk paint as well. Now, it took me 3 coats of this white to cover my picture frame, and I did end up sealing it as well as the glass. You definitely want to seal the glass, and I used Big Top from DIY to seal mine. But you can use any kind of sealant, but you definitely want to seal that because your resin is going to go on top of your glass. So this can be hung as a picture, or this can be just set around as a little tray. I think either way is fine. Now, I will say I didn't pay enough attention, and some of my resin kind of leaked out. I had left the little backing to stand it up as a picture frame on. I should have taken that off, but I had left it on. So I ended up kind of tearing that off. And I do have a spot on the back where the resin is sitting there. So I don't know what to tell you to make sure it doesn't come out, but I could tell as soon as I started pouring good that the resin started seeping out around some of the edges. But I mean, it's okay to me because you're not going to see the back. But anyhow, so just keep painting, and like I said, paint that glass as well, seal everything real good, and then we're going to get into mixing our resin. So with this resin, you are going to do 1 part of the resin equal 1 part of the hardener itself. And I knew this was going to be a pretty big project. I wanted it kind of thick sitting in that frame. So I think I did mine to 40, whatever that means. There's measurements on these cups. I'm not sure about what you would get at the Dollar Tree. So you might just want to get some little plastic cups somewhere. But once you get each one poured, then you're going to pour them into another cup. And that is a silicone cup that I have there. And that's perfect for mixing. And you're going to mix the two together real well. Now, you want to make sure you just take a little craft stick or something. I use the craft sticks. And mix these very well because it needs to be mixed up good in order for it to sit up correctly. And then when I have it mixed, I'm simply going to pour that into my frame. Make sure you're on a level surface when you're pouring it into your mold. And here we're making our own little mold. But make sure you're on a level surface. You just want to make sure, especially with like this, that you want to get it to all the edges. So I did pick it up and move it around a little bit. And then I'm going to take the little sprinkles there. They have moons. I think they had sunshines, hearts. They had all kind of different. That really is cute. And that did come from the Dollar Tree Plus section. So then I just sprinkle those in there, and then I ended up picking it up and kind of moving those around as well, and then taking my craft stick, making sure they were covered. In the end, after it had dried, there were a few places that were a little raised and rough because those are made out of some kind of plastic or something. I did take my craft knife to a couple of places and just made sure to kind of trim those down and just do that level, and it'll be fine. But I do let my resin set up for at least 24 hours. I don't touch it. I don't know what the rules of that are or what they say on the directions, but I do let mine sit for 24 hours just to cure real well. So we're just going to finish up this project, and then we'll move to our next one. Okay, this mold I got from the Dollar Tree Plus section as well, and this is a bracelet. It does not fit my hand, but it will fit your teen, your toddler, your tween, sure. And then again, we're going to use those same little pots of the sprinkles. I'm going to call them sprinkles. So again, we're simply going to mix equal parts resin and hardener. Pour those into separate cups and then mix those together. I do suggest using gloves. This stuff has a weird feel to it and it's hard to get off. I didn't use gloves for some of it, and I ended up using like some industrial strength hand cleaner for grease to get it off. So this mold was a little difficult to pour everything in because it was so small of an opening, but I just poured it in there, and then I take my 2 sets of little sprinklers. Those little cups are so cute, and I have bunches of that left over. And then poured that in there and took my craft stick and kind of pushed those in. They did end up all kind of settling towards it would be the top of the bracelet, which is fine because that's what you're going to see. But at the bottom, what sits up against your, I guess the inside towards your armpit, that would be the way it would sit. But anyhow, there wasn't much sprinkles there. It was all at that, the even part. Now, again, let this sit for 24 hours, and then you're just going to simply pop it out of the mold. You're going to go all the way around and pop it out. It was a little rough at that back there. There were some sprinkles that stuck out. It's a little rough, so I just used some very fine sandpaper and just sand off around that edge. You don't want to use anything rough because it's going to take that shiny resin finish off. It'll make it look dull and scratch. So just use a fine grit sandpaper, and then you can make that look real well. And if you have like a buffer, you could actually buff this out. I didn't go through all that trouble because I just used it very sparingly. But it makes a beautiful little bracelet. And again, I can't model it for you. I will show you all the projects in the end. But I think you'll enjoy it. So I bought these little necklace pendant molds off of Amazon as well. And these are very cute. And they do have the little hole, they have a little place that's raised for the little hole for the chain. And then I have some color, and I bought those off of Amazon as well. So I'm going to mix up the red color and the blue. And I don't remember what the colors were called. But just remember, the less you pour, the lighter it's going to be. You pour more. So I have done projects before where I've poured the pigment in, did some of the projects with that color, then I poured more and darkened it. You can mix the colors if you're a good mixer of, like, I don't know, if you decorate cakes, bakers know how to mix the colors. If you do a lot of artwork, painting, then you know how to mix the colors. But I just simply used the colors that were there in the jar. So I did do this a little bit different. I put my little sprinkles in first and I poured my resin on top. And again, wait your 24 hours. Then I had to make 2 trips to Hobby Lobby because you're going to need something called I think it's called a jump ring, and it's in the jewelry section. But you're going to need that to put in that hole up at the top. And the first set that I bought was not big enough because these little molds are pretty thick. They're not thin at all. They're a thick mold. So you're going to need something big to go through. So then I went back to Hobby Lobby the next day and bought the biggest size jump ring they had. I have some little jewelry pliers. I had to use those and my needle nose pliers. Just be careful. Don't open it too far because you can sit there and manipulate that mold around and use your needle nose pliers to get that jump ring all the way in. But you're going to need that in order for your necklace to go through, if that makes sense. Your necklace is not going to go through the hole on these little pendants. You're going to need that jump ring for your transition there. And then we're just going to finish up these, and then I will show you all the finished projects. And your little one, your granddaughters, whoever, they're going to love these. I don't know if I would suggest them helping to make these or not, but just because that resin, I'm telling you, if it gets on you, it's a mess. But they are going to love these. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked something in my video and you're not already subscribed, please consider smashing that subscribe button. Give me a couple of likes and some comments. And till next time, I'll see you guys again. Thank you so much.